watching all the world go by now, underneath the hazy sky now. Got my ticket for the long ride. Yeah, from my park bench perspective, got that wide-eyed view on life. My park bench perspective, helping me to win the fight.
Hey, how you doing, Mike Hammer?
I am doing wonderful, Carlos, and yourself?
I'm doing okay. It's beautiful Memorial Day here in Minnesota.
And we're on the bench. I got a quick one. Shout out to Brady, my son. What type of jeans does a ghost hunter wear?
I don't know.
Paranormal jeans.
I'm sorry, is this the dad joke pod?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, maybe I hit the wrong one. I thought we were doing park bench perspectives, but
funny part is, it was sent to me by my son.
Yeah.
But it works in a dad joke thing because it's just, jokes are good.
You know what?
As long as you're not
better,
the brunt of them.
This is true as well, where it's I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you. Yeah, but I'm not laughing.
I'm not laughing, or I'm laughing at you and with you. And
so what's been going on at your homestead? I hear you've been having some adventures.
Oh, yes, it's been a bit of a ruckus up in the Belfry.
Bats?
No, we have a house back in St. Louis Park. A lot of houses just have one peak, and now you have these houses with vaulted ceilings over here, over there. So you have a lot of playroom up there in the attic.
Okay.
For creatures. And above our fireplace where we watch TV, they got up there, and I think so, because I could distinctly decipher two critters in this conversation.
Okay.
And it was what we thought were squirrels, so I called them squirrelistics, not domestics. Because I thought they were fighting. They were going at something. I don't know, kids, money, staying out too late, whatever. And then I'm like, I'll just go away. And then, of course, would you hear that? Yes, you got to close up all the portholes. Oh, you're doing that. And finding out new places they go in. It's just a little sidebar. We built a house, and then goes mice. I like, basically we just planted,
you're in a field. This is where they used to live.
This is where they live, and you planted like a Hilton here, warm food stuff. You're like, and mice and Stuart Little. They're not that they're not Tom and Jerry. They're in our culture, but so I'm like, okay, so eventually they got to go away, and I got 2 dogs here, and then we just acquired a cat. So I'm thinking somebody's got to do their job.
Yeah, do your job, get them.
And all of a sudden, in the front of the house, in the office, we start hearing, and it sounds like a different pitch squeak, and it was weird. And I'm like, there's multiple families. It's a big, big enough attic with multiple families staying in there. So I'm like, okay, and we have soffits, wooden soffits, and the screens that let the air vent out there.
Yeah.
I could see a couple were pulled down. One was pulled down a couple inches, so I go closer, and I see these legs hanging out. And they're decent, and they're good-sized legs. I'm like, wow, that's one of the biggest
squirrels I've ever seen.
But I can only see the legs.
Yeah.
So I go to get a step ladder and my phone. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to, whatever, say, hey, come on out. We got to talk. You got to leave. Yeah. But I put the ladder down, and I go put my phone up there, and remember The Wizard of Oz?
Okay, yeah.
Where the house lands, and it goes to color?
Yes.
What does the house land on?
The Wicked Witch.
What happens to her feet?
They're sticking out.
And then, when they go to get the ruby slippers?
Her legs come off? I can't remember.
They roll up.
Oh, they roll up, and that's exactly what happened.
I look up, I'm about to snap the picture, and those legs roll up the Wizard of Oz. I'm like, that spooked, but I'm like, that was weird. I'm like, that dude, I thought that dude was dead. Like, they were pushing it out. This is like the Ravager funeral. Yeah. It's going out into space. And so I'm like, how? I guess I know where they're going out. This one's just cooling itself off over the vent here. And then I go and I wait later on, seal that port up that night. Raccooners are big time nighttime people, but that 3 a.m. in the morning, my daughter comes down and she's like, Dad, there's something at my window. And I think it's a raccoon. And her bedroom window is over the sunroom, so the roof is about 2.5 feet from the window. She goes, I'm like, okay. And I go up there and I don't see it. We have crank out windows. She goes, it was like pulling at my window. I didn't know what the hell it is. A criminal, a burglar, whatever. So I'm like,
or a smart raccoon. First of all, they've already got their little bandanas over their eye, right?
Yeah. So it was interesting. So I go to her. All right, I'm going back to bed. We'll deal with it. The windows are locked, whatever. All of a sudden, she comes back down a little bit. I took a video of it, and she said, so I hear it again. I get my phone and I start recording, but I couldn't see anything because the light was shining on the screen, reflecting in. And all of a sudden, I look, and 5 inches away from me, these two beady eyes staring at me. It's a raccoon, like pleading, "I got to get inside to get my babies." So we figured out that it was babies in there chirping like birds, and I'm like, oh Christ. And it turned out that I might be living with a part-time PETA person.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm like, we're going to bug bomb it up there. And we're going to get rid of them. And it was one of those. And the neighbors like, call pest control. I'm like, that's $1,000. Just to get, I can crawl up in my attic, even though it was the opposite end where the entry point.
Oh, is that what I'm smelling? Is that the poison that's going to make me die here instantly?
But
okay. All right.
They're just PFAS. They're the forever spray.
Okay.
But so the World Wide Web said, turn lights on, strobe lights if you got them.
Yeah. No, you don't have your mobile DJ business anymore.
No, not really. So I put lights on, and then I said, play music loud. So I'm playing some AC Hell's Bells. I'm playing a lot of heavy metal. Turn some rap on too. Maybe that bugs them, and they're gone. But it reminded me of when we were young.
Yeah.
At my house.
In St. Louis Park, right across there on Hampshire, across from Elliott School.
Yes. And that was one peak. And we'd hear squirrels. So I'd go up there, and at the edge there was those vents, and they usually just chewed through over time and ripped off. It was this screen nailed down there, or stapled on there. So I remember it was with Craig Brightcross. He had a pellet gun, or I had a pellet gun. So I go up in the
How
attic.
old are we?
15, 16 years old.
Okay, all right.
So I go up in the attic with a flashlight, scare them out, and he's picking them off as they're coming down. That was great.
So I have a St. Louis Park critter story.
Right.
My mom didn't speak English, and then my dad's mom, my grandma, lived with us and wasn't an English speaker. My mom spoke English, just had a big accent. So my poor mom is taking a shower, and all of a sudden, through the ceiling tile falls a squirrel.
Oh, jeez.
And so then my grandma is trying to chase the thing out of the house with a broom. And then the dogs that spent their entire life in the yard, all they ever did was chase squirrels, have one in their house, and they hide. They're no help whatsoever. So I feel so bad for my poor mom. I can't imagine. And my heart might stop if I'm in the middle of a shower just chilling, and all of a sudden there's a squirrel in the little shower with me. That would just be bad.
That would be, who's more shocked?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. So then after that, it was a similar thing. You got to stop their entrance place, get them out, or kill them, and then stop the place that they come in. And I don't think they had them again. It was that one part in the peak, the venting, that they get through.
So. They get up there, if you have a stuck house, whatever, even lapside, they real sharp claws. People scale buildings, rats and the mice and the squirrels and whatever.
And they're just trying to survive, right? They're looking for warmth, they're looking for food.
And shelter, And it was interesting when we grew up. Over time now, there's turkeys everywhere.
Yes.
Do you ever remember seeing turkey in St. Louis Park?
I do not recall seeing any wildlife, any turkeys.
Deer, really? Maybe on the highway every once in a while.
I think I saw deer as an adult in St. Louis Park.
Westwood Nature Center, maybe?
Yeah.
I remember Westwood Nature Center.
I do.
Did you go there much?
There was a time in my life when it was the way I would end a day. Hey, you want to walk through the nature center?
I never went there much. I don't know why. It
wasn't exactly your hood.
No, it was over there. But I remember my sister, Michelle,
had
a job there one summer. They were making
like
trails.
being a park ranger or whatever?
They were making all the trails to pass, and I don't know, cutting down poison ivy.
I didn't know that. We should have Michelle on. Michelle, come on the podcast.
We will.
I have a confession to make. It's not really that good a confession.
We'll make it better.
Oh, no.
Embellish.
You know what? As a kid, Memorial Day, we were like, let's do a Memorial Day theme. And I'm like, Memorial Day was never that big a deal to me as a kid. Yes, as an adult, I realize, you know what? Taking a day to remember those that gave their lives for our freedom is a wonderful thing. But you have to remember, when you're a kid, your prefrontal cortex isn't developed and you can't see beyond yourself. So for me, it was like school wasn't quite over yet. There were probably finals and stuff like that. And then summer and baseball had started. But Memorial Day just never felt like anything important.
When do you think you realized what Memorial Day? I just thought it was we got Monday off.
Yeah. I was probably an adult in my 20s by the time I knew what Memorial Day was.
Oh, there's something to this. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and it's a day off, right? Labor Day, all I knew it was like Jerry Lewis and school.
Yeah.
You know,
Memorial Day, I remember the Dayton's cartoons or commercials, the Memorial Day sale. And remember they had the commercials with the stick figures?
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yes.
Going to Dayton's Memorial Day sale.
Yeah.
I never went, but...
I tried doing this on Facebook. Facebook, you suck for engagement sometimes. I tried to talk about the Dayton's Jubilee Sale song, and nobody knew what I was talking about. I'm like, the Dayton's Jubilee Sale? And actually I think it was written by the father of a young woman that we went to school with, that I can't remember. I remember hearing that.
Somebody will chime in and tell us who wrote that song. And yes, I think people, probably the vast majority listening to this might remember that song. But
yeah. Well, and then there was the guy who was always trying to get off work.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I got it. Are you really going to the Dayton's Jubilee Sale or whatever? He goes, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was funny. Oh, that was, yeah, same with Labor Day. The only holiday that meant anything from May to September was what?
May to September, yes. 4th of July.
4th of July.
Because fireworks, and if you could get your hands on some firecrackers, and...
It was a party. You got to see them. You got to go hang out. You got to stay when you're younger. You got to stay up late to watch the fireworks. Going to Aquila.
Down to Aquila.
And trying to get out of there with the cars and everything. And some parents were like, we're leaving now. And others like, we'll stay until the traffic's gone. You're like, yeah.
The big ooh-ah.
Remember the one?
Ooh, look at the pretty colors.
1976, and they had the Snoopy and the Red Baron, and they had them on these big apparatuses, and they had a firework fight.
Are you talking about the 4th of July from 1976?
1976, yeah.
And in your brain, there is what the fireworks show was like in 76.
1976, yes. That was.
I've heard that the number of fireworks that are prepared for this 250th anniversary this year in Washington for the 250th it's some crazy number. I don't even know what number. Let's say 80,000 different fireworks. Some insane number more than normally used. So for those of you that are into fireworks, at least fireworks on TV, you can watch the big celebration on the 4th of July.
Yeah, it was interesting. Certain places, I remember that when we, after college living in Minneapolis, you could see fireworks.
Yeah.
All around. Turn your head, you can see them everywhere.
Yep. I'm actually able to, from my house in New Brighton, able to see fireworks from a couple different locations from my deck or front door.
Yeah, it's such a big deal. We used to have them in Somerset, and we do it on the 3rd of July because we always work the 4th of July in the bar business. So we'd get them, and we were...
And you're in Wisconsin, so you just can get them.
Yep, and we had next to our house was like, not a woods area, a low-lying area, and we could set them off there, and we would have people, so we invite a lot of people from the bar, with a lot of people. We have like $2,500 to $3,000 worth of fireworks, and we would go off for an hour.
Wow.
And people were bringing like...
And were you running the show?
I was hanging on the hose, trying to keep the kids away, and I usually let someone else... There's always a bigger pyro than me, and my brother-in-law, Pat, was a big one. He liked to blow shit up. So I remember... Small town, you know, all the cops, you know, they would wait, and even the phone calls would say, you know, we've watched them for a while, but we want to go to bed now. And so the cops would come, and the missus at the time, we'd bring them a plate of food, each of them, so they'd have to spend another 20 minutes eating, and we could keep lighting off fireworks, and then eventually we'd wind down, and then for the next week, you're picking up the debris from your yard.
And the thing is, you're old now, right? So you care about it's your yard. You know what I mean? You care about all that paper out there.
Did then, and now I don't again. I'm just got a good.
You don't have $2,000 worth of fireworks going off either.
And I got a neighbor who mows my lawn, and I'm like, he asked me,
"Mind if I mow your lawn?"
I did some work for him a little bit, kind of a trade off, and the snow thrower. By the time it gets warmed up, I'm done with my driveway. Should I do yours? I'm like, you should.
Hey, let me ask you something. This was kind of hot maybe 40 years ago, 30 years ago, and this and that, but I'm actually currently listening to a book about monetary policy and money and the gold standard and this and that. And the reason we came up with money is so that we can exchange things, right? What you make is bread and what you need is candles. If the guy who has the candles is like, I'm good on bread, what do you do? And that's the reason we had to break out beyond the barter society. But to me, the barter economy is awesome. I mean,
they used to do that. They do that in small businesses. It used to be bigger, where you do that. service. You build up points, and you can take those points and go to another.
I remember talking to criminal attorneys who was like going, yeah, one time I got a pinball machine, one time I got a car to settle the bill. And
it's great at the beginning, but then when you're getting this going,
I need cash. I cannot pay my rent with this motorcycle.
Yeah, I don't need service for accounting. I need real money, Mr. Account.
But there was a time, this was very early in the web, where somebody said, hey, if we could just match make people that need stuff from people that don't. But it'd be a cool way, because the barter system is one where I think the system is not set up to screw you. Whereas you're making an exchange between you and another person, and the government's not involved, nobody else is involved but you. Nobody's taxing you on it, this and that. And of course, as an attorney, I have to advise people that under the IRS rules, anything of value constitutes income, and please check with your tax accountant before filing your taxes. With that said, typically in Barter, your guy mowing your lawn for whatever it is you helped him out, that is, to me, once again, not a tax attorney, don't carry malpractice insurance. I don't think that's a taxable transaction, but your mileage may vary. But I love barter. I think barter is the coolest thing in the world. It's just, I wish we had more of that.
But it's funny, it's to have the two things aligned. I need this and you need this. Usually it's, I can do this for you if you do that.
Yeah.
I don't need that, but you know what? Yeah. I'll do the old Godfather. But someday.
Yeah, someday I'll come ask you for a favor.
And that day may never happen. Mr. Brazo?
Yeah.
Mr. Brazo. Today is that day.
Luca Brazzi.
Brazzi. Today is that day. We were just watching The Godfather.
Here's another problem with the barter thing. This has got nothing to do with what our topic was, but it's what we're talking about. If you're trading candles for bread, what if the person makes crappy bread or crappy candles? And that's the other thing, where it's like $1 bill or an ounce of gold is an ounce of gold is an ounce of gold.
You don't have recourse. It's interesting with doing handyman construction stuff or whatever. Yeah. When I communicate with people and there's a yes.
Yeah.
And it's not really happened, but when they kind of say, I didn't agree to that. I'm like, it's right here. You texted me. I set a price. You said, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do it. That's gold.
What's weird about your business is, or that business, we'll say, because you've got your fingers in a lot of different pots, and I don't want to label you one thing or the other, but at least in my experience in doing personal handyman work, a lot of times you start a job, and then you find out pretty quick that the job is something completely different or a lot bigger job than what you thought. And then it's like, when I said I'd do this for $100, but I didn't expect that required me to rewire your whole house. Yeah. But you get people say, you said 100. Yep. I would have them sign pieces of paper constantly. That's what I would do. But when you put that kind of grit in the gears.
I don't usually set a price. I set an hourly.
Yeah.
And I'll say, we're going to go into it and see what happens. And I'll keep you abreast as we go along. Because you can usually, and most people, there's every once in a while you get the old, dude, I'm not paying you that. I'm going to get a contractor's lien against you but usually when it's an older house or something, when you're framing out a new room, we just leave a laundry room built. You know what it's going to cost. And you'll say, if you want anything extra, we'll add on it. And then you always, I guess this isn't a business class, but write estimate, not bid.
Yeah.
Because there's language there that could be
it's an estimate. This is based,
estimated.
Here's what, that's basically... I had a law professor who goes, use your lawyer words or your weasel words. Yeah. Leave yourself an out. If you say estimates, yes, I was estimating. I do not have a crystal ball to know the future, and you don't. Nope. And that's the thing, and that's actually also with cars, where a lot of times you start at the simplest, right? Your doctor maybe treats you for a cold before he starts doing exploratory surgery. You know what I mean? You start with what it could be simple, and then you start going to more complicated, but that can take time.
I remember Tom Eugen with Ford Lotto. Yeah. He'd always say, but he'd bring up, they come in for a tire rotation, all of a sudden they drive away and the car has problems and their alternator went. Yeah. We didn't do anything to the alternator. Yeah. Things just wear out. Sometimes there's a coincidence between this and that. If you have 4 light bulbs in this fixture, one goes out, there's a good chance.
Not to make anybody angry, but I have a brain, so I have to say it. It's like people who say they got the flu shot and then I got the flu. If those don't have anything to do, first of all, you don't know that what you really got was the flu. You don't know if that's a strain that was part of the thing, so just shut up. Yeah. Taking the flu shot did not give you the flu, okay? It happens every year. I'm like, I don't give a shit. It doesn't, it's not what happened. It's not how it works, not how it has ever worked.
And I kind of say, don't ever bring that up to me again, because I don't care. I don't care if you got a shot, someone shot you, you punched someone. I don't care if you want to do it, if you don't. If you get sick.
There's still, honestly, God, this is going to piss people off, but I don't care. That poor young man that died, NASCAR driver.
Kyle Busch.
Only 41. You look at the comments. Oh, yeah, I wonder how many jabs he got. I bet you he got the jab. Oh, yeah, that was the jab. I was like, going, as if 41-year-olds didn't sadly die ever before there was a COVID vaccine. It happens. It sucks. From what it says, people can continue to say it, but you might as well get a tattoo that says I'm a moron.
The irony, the coincidence. Who was the Atkins guy? Wasn't he a distant?
Oh, yeah.
And he was out running in great shape, and he just dies.
I think it was like the Jim Fix. He was like one of those ultra runner guys, and this and that. He died, but he died in his 50s of a heart attack. But it's like going, you can't outrun genetics, right? No. You just can't. So it's all you can do. If you really think about health, like gambling, all you can do is give yourself the best odds. If you get dealt a pair of 8s in blackjack, you play it as best you can, but you're sitting with 16.
Yeah, you're sitting with, and if you split them, and you might be sitting with 2 18s, the dealer might have a 6 underneath and a 10. Boom.
You know, I mean, you don't hit it, don't triple hit it. You get a 3. Oh, I'm gonna try to see if I can get a 2. It's like going, no. All you can control is what you can control, but you might as well give yourself the best odds, right?
Yeah, just the vaccine shot. It's always like when I took the kid to get it, I did it because I'm like, I don't know, I'm here. What the hell? I've done worse. And then the time you walk by, we're giving away free shots. How long is it going to take? Yeah. A minute. All right, I got a minute. Let's go. But go seek it out. Getting up in the morning, going to do it. I don't know. Maybe.
That's one of the things I miss working for a big company back in the day, working for Thomson Reuters. It's like going, they'd come in, they'd have the flu shots come in, boom. It was like employee free, just set up, boom, walk in, get it. It was just so easy.
When I did set up in the gift shop and stuff, per year, getting me in the door, selling insoles, I was always amazed that the hallways were like high school, crowded, but there was no class because they were always crowded. I'm like, does anybody work here? Does anybody go and do anything here? And you know what most of them were always going to do? Yeah. Going to a meeting. And I'd always joke, when you get to a meeting, what's one of the first things you do? And they're like, I don't know. We usually set another meeting. Yeah. Wouldn't that be something if there was a meeting? Yes. To end the meetings about this, what we're meeting about?
We always used to joke, my boss and I at Kroll On Track, it was like the meeting after the meeting. Yeah. It's like when there'd be a meeting and then 3 of the guys would get into one office. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not cool enough to be in the meeting after the meeting? No. There was actually a comedian back in the 70s who did a bit about going so that you go to a bar, but then they got the VIP section. Yeah. But then they got a special section just roped off in the VIP. Then they got a back room. That room is just for Jack Nichols. All right, buddy. I appreciate you hanging with me here on the bench here on Memorial Day.
I guess because the weather's nice and we got things we wanted to do, we'll make this a shorter bench perspective. Because
hey, Mike, why don't you let them know how they can get a hold of your podcast?
If they go a hold of your businesses, they go to Spotify or Apple Podcast, and they can listen to this because I guess we're already on there telling them, so we don't have to tell them again. But I don't know, they can, if they need to get their feet to feel good because they have the best insoles in the world, go to footpainauthority.com. Yep. And if they have work that needs to be done here or there or somewhere,
they just message my camera.
Message my camera, and we'll see what we can get done.
So you know what's better than having a podcast?
Having a buddy like you?
Yes, now I feel bad for my answer, but having a podcast network. Oh. So we're expanding. We've got a second podcast we mentioned in last week's show called our TV show, Forgotten Television, that I host with our friend since we were kids, Joe Riley.
And then we're going to do another one.
You and I have started a new podcast called Role Reversal, where we talk about our relationship as our parents got older. We're late in the stage of parents and dealing with it, but we're going to talk about what it was like as a caretaker as our parents got older, and what can we learn from that, and what we can do for our kids and grandkids to make them dealing with us getting older easier for them and easier for you.
Because I know I don't feel the number that's associated with my age. I don't feel it most of the time. Some mornings, if I'm doing something that I didn't necessarily want to do at work, but has to get done, feel a little bit more stiff or sore in the morning. Yeah. But I'm starting to get that feeling from my kids once in a while, like,
they're watching.
I don't need a hand. Get out of here or whatever. And someday I'll tell you about the incident at the State Fair last year, but that spooked some people.
You know what? We'll include that in the next episode of Role Reversal. But for now, I think, Mike, it's Carlos.
We'll talk about crazy injuries.
We can do crazy concert injuries next week, too. People have been asking for that one. You've been reluctant because you need to change names to protect the innocent.
Like crazy concert injuries and just injuries that self-inflicted.
Yes, we could do an entire series on Mike Hammer's injuries.
That's memories.
But for now...
At the corners of my mind.
For now, Carlos and Hammer?
Out!